This is Triggered.
And you will be. This is not a drill.
Guys, we're really something today.
We're going through it.
We're really something today. We first just want to thank everyone for living through our audio issues that we've had recently.
I'm sure that was a real treat to listen to.
Yeah, we know it wasn't, but you know, shit happens. I am not a sound tech.
And I don't know anything, but here I am.
Here we are, just vibing. So we're hoping that this sounds way better.
Yeah.
And again, just thank you for your patience.
And if anyone was out this morning, well, this would be, it'll be tomorrow by the time this is released. No, well, anyways, on Monday before Christmas, if anyone was at Loblaws or the Wine Rack and you saw a crazy, deranged looking woman with curlers in her hair, that was me. Because we don't have time for nothing because our audio fucked up and now we had to start over.
So here we are.
It's Christmas.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. Chantal was literally like in tears having a nervous breakdown. I was like, it's fine. You know why? Because I'm going to stop and we're going to get the snacks and we're going to get the sangria.
So we've eaten some food.
Yep.
Ashley makes a delicious sangria.
Holiday sangria.
It's so good.
A little cran.
Yep. We're feeling
Sprite.
it. We're feeling it. So we're going to give this a shot. And we're really hoping that this reaches your ears.
And if it reaches your ears and we sound awful again, well, we're sorry, but this is all we have. So I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be better.
Okay, so I want to start today. You know, I start every day
with a question.
It's like school up in this shit.
I like it.
So we've talked about this before, but we're going to talk about it again.
Give it to me.
So you and I text each other multiple times a day.
All day.
Every day. And even though you talk to text constantly and your texts are therefore riddled with errors upon errors upon errors.
So I don't even use my fingers to text. I use voice to text.
That's what I mean. Like you.
Yeah.
Guys, so the other day, Ashley had made this delicious macaroni thing. And I was like, can you please give me the recipe for that? So she texts me and I receive like, okay, so it's tomato sauce, macaroni, cheese, urban, garlic.
Urban.
And I'm like, is that a new spice? Like I've
Urban.
never heard of urban. Like what are we putting? Is this a whiskey? What is this?
It's the secret sauce.
Guys, it was urban garlic cream cheese, like herb and garlic cream cheese, but it just. Urbaned. So that's basically like, anyway, Ashley's texts are full of riddles.
So if you know me and you're like a regular person, you just need to learn to decipher.
And I do, for the most part. Like, I just can read around it now.
And
even this morning, you sent me something weird, and I was like,
yeah,
I
just
go,
and a lot of the time I will see it, and I'm like, oh, no, you know what? They'll figure it out. Yeah. They will figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, time and time again in these cases, we hear that one of the first things that tips a friend or family member off that like something isn't right.
Yes.
Is that they receive a text message that is off.
If you get an apostrophe or a period.
This is the thing.
You'd be like, that's not her.
If you ever sent me a text message that was like grammatically correct, everything was spelled right, I'd be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And what did you do with Ash?
Absolutely.
Do you remember the Carmen Thomas case?
Yes.
Where she was spelling
fucking
hun wrong all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
How could I forget?
So exactly. So on August 2nd, 2017.
Oh, this is a pretty new one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Dan and Sherry Gold receive a text message that not only puzzles them, but immediately sets off alarms. It was from their daughter Savannah's number, but it was riddled with errors and just wasn't like her at all.
What did it say?
It read, and I'm going to read it exactly how it's written.
Okay.
So that you get a feel of all the errors.
Okay.
Hey, I just eonted to tell you and Mom I met a really great guy and we are running away together. I love him and we are leaving tonight. I'll call you later when we get TK where we are going.
Okay.
Right?
My daughter messaged me and was like, yo, I met a guy and we're running away. I'd be like, get your ass back in the house.
Whatever you're doing,
No.
stop. Well, this is just it. So this was immediately concerning for them for quite a few reasons, but mainly because only an hour earlier, 21-year-old Savannah Gold got ready for her evening shift at work, left her parents' house in Jacksonville, Florida around 5:15, dressed in her standard work attire, which was black shoes, black pants, and a white chef's jacket. She was on her way to work at the Bonefish Grill, which is a casual seafood spot where she works as a server.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
I feel like I have some single gal friends and, some family members that are in the dating scene. They've been at this game for like 30 some years.
Mm-hmm.
No way is this girl leaving the house 45 minutes later, met the love of her life, and she's like, well, I'm out. No.
Right? Well, that was just it. And her parents were like, I'm sorry, she literally just left here.
Yeah.
So like they received this text message at like 6:00.
I'm like, she didn't pack a bag.
Well, this was it.
Okay.
So they were like, what? So before we get into what happens next, let me tell you just a little bit about Savannah. This wasn't just some random server at a restaurant.
How old is she?
21.
Okay.
Savannah was this incredibly vibrant young woman who was really figuring out her path in life. She was super close with her family, especially her mom, Sherry, who was battling stage 4 cancer at the time.
Yeah,
Savannah was one of her mom's biggest supporters
Aww.
through all the treatments. She was this genuinely caring person who was passionate about animal welfare. I was thinking about you when I read that.
Like, I would never leave my dogs.
Well, no.
Listen to me. I'm like, I have 2 kids, but the dogs.
The dogs? I would never leave the dogs.
They need me.
Yeah. So she was always trying to help others. Her friends described her as this bright, optimistic person who was thinking about her future beyond just working at Bonefish. She was the type of person who would tell her family everything, which makes what I'm about to tell you even more suspicious. So this wasn't like, God bless our daughters. Let's talk about this for a second.
We've been talking
this
about
is
them all
totally
morning.
some shit they would pull.
Fuck me.
Like, if I got a text like that, exactly like what you said, like, we would be like, get your ass back home. Whatever shit you're pulling right now, smarten up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Savannah was not like our girls. Savannah was like, she wasn't pulling shit like
Must
this.
be so peaceful in that house.
Maybe. So after her parents get this weird text, her brother Chris receives an equally strange message. So I'm going to read it exactly how it's written as well.
Okay.
Hey, I quit. I'm leaving with my boyfriend. I can't do this shit. Anything. I'm fine. Just want to get away.
Okay.
So let's talk about why. I mean, you and we're not stupid, and everyone listening is like, okay, that's obviously a problem here.
Yeah.
But let's talk about why these texts made absolutely no sense. Savannah was not the type to make spelling errors like that. She was super careful. She was like, periods, commas, semicolons. Like, she had her shit together. Even if she had been rushed, she wouldn't have made all those mistakes. Second, like I was saying, she had literally just left for work.
No.
Was like, hey, I'll see you guys later in her uniform. No packed bag, no preparation, nothing that would suggest she was planning to run away. And third, and this is really important, she would never abandon her mom.
Oh.
Like, they knew right away. They were like,
she's in trouble.
There's something wrong, because she would never do that. Like, she had actually given up on quite a few opportunities to take care of her mom. So she's not peacing here.
Meeting some random guy, like, bye, mom. No.
Leaves the house at 5:15 at 6 p.m. She's like, so I'm running away. No.
Found the love of my life.
Yeah. Like,
it's not
in
an episode of
45
Sleeping
minutes,
Beauty,
ma'am?
so this is love. They're in the forest. No.
No, exactly. By now, her family is in full panic mode. These texts don't sound like Savannah at all. And so they go to the Bonefish Grill to look for her, and what they find is even more disturbing. Not only did she not make it to her 5:30 shift, But they find her car, a white 2007 Kia Spectra, sitting abandoned in the parking lot. The car is unlocked, which is weird enough, and her wallet and ID are still inside.
Right.
So immediately they're like,
call police.
She hasn't run away. Something else that really catches their attention, her front left tire has been slashed. So it's looking real bad. And get this, she had just replaced that tire the day before. So,
oh my God.
So whoever did it, it was personal, right? Like she had just replaced that tire.
That's so weird.
It was like whoever did it knew she had just replaced
and
that
like,
tire.
Had she replaced the tire because it had been slashed?
I don't know. We don't have that information, but it's like, okay. So her family is like, when the fuck? So at this point, her family calls police and reports her missing, tells them everything. They don't waste any time. They start handing out missing person flyers right away, desperately searching for answers. Meanwhile, detectives turn their attention to the Bonefish Grill's surveillance cameras, which they had outside of the building.
Okay.
Hoping to piece together what happened in that parking lot.
Give it to me.
And what they found on that footage, this is where the story takes a pretty dark turn. When detectives review the surveillance footage from the Bonefish Grill parking lot, they see Savannah arrive at 5:31 p.m. She parks her car and walks over to a silver Chevy Malibu. The driver is one of her coworkers, 28-year-old Lee Rodarte, who worked as a culinary manager at the restaurant.
Okay.
Now, before I tell you what happens next, you need to understand the complicated and honestly disturbing history between Savannah and Lee.
Okay.
They had been involved in this on-again, off-again relationship for about 8 months. But here's the thing, they had to keep it totally secret because workplace relationships between managers and servers were strictly against company policy. A lot of places are like that. And guys, according to Savannah's friends, she had recently been trying to distance herself from Lee because he was becoming increasingly controlling. And we see this all the time.
All the time.
Step 1, controlling asshole. They said that she had expressed concerns about how he would use his position as her manager to manipulate her.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, so he would mess with her schedule and shifts if she wasn't responding to his text the way he wanted her to.
He's like, oh, well, then you're working.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, these policies exist for a reason.
Yeah,
obviously.
Absolutely.
They're meant to prevent exactly the kind of power imbalance that existed between Lee and Savannah. He was her manager. He was 7 years older than her and had been working at Bonefish for nearly 5 years. He had authority over her schedule, her income, literally everything.
Poor girl.
And that's why, like, you know, a lot of times, and I've been in a lot of work situations where there are these policies in place. And it's not that, like, we're Scrooges and we don't want you to fall in love. It's literally for this reason. Yeah. Because if you start sleeping with your manager, if you start sleeping with your boss.
And it can go either way.
Exactly.
They could start favoring you. And yeah, it's not okay. It's a total
mess. It's a total mess. Okay, so back to the surveillance footage. Savannah talks to Lee through his driver's side window for about 14 minutes. So she's now late for work. So whatever conversation they're having, like, police are watching it and going like...
Is it looking heated? Are they...
Well, so we can't really see Lee.
Okay.
Because he's sitting in the car. And she's standing outside the car talking through the window at him. But that would have made her quite late for work.
Right.
Which is unusual for Savannah. Like, she wasn't fucking around like that. So after about 14 minutes, she gets in his car. And this is where everything goes horrifyingly wrong. I have seen this video footage and it gave me, I don't want to say chills because, you know, when you get brain freeze?
Yes.
You know that rush to your head?
Yes.
Where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, it's too much.
Yeah.
Watching this video almost gave me that visceral reaction.
You're like, no.
Where you're just like, oh my God, because the video shows the car starting to rock back and forth violently.
He's like, attacking her in the car?
You can see it, yeah. And it's what's the word I'm looking for? Tinted windows.
Okay.
So you can't really see what's happening, but the car is like
So like
violently.
maybe initially it could be like, oh, she got in and they were like,
Yeah, absolutely. But then the passenger door opens and closes multiple times.
She's
like
trying to
someone's
get
trying to
out.
get out. There's clearly some kind of struggle happening in the car. And it's terrifying. Like, as I was watching it, when she opens the door the first time
like,
and it gets
"Get out,
slammed
get
shut,
out, get
you're just
out."
like,
Yeah.
oh my God, girl. Yeah. Then Lee gets out of his car, walks over to Savannah's Kia, and slashes her tire.
You motherfucker.
So we're watching this happen.
What an idiot.
Yeah. He gets back in his car and drives away with Savannah still inside.
And so here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
He got out to slash her tire. So is she unconscious?
She's never seen getting out of the vehicle.
Oh.
And he drives away, presumably, with Savannah in the vehicle.
Okay.
This is where Lee starts displaying the first of many classic guilty behaviors. The next day, he shows up to work like nothing happened.
Oh, hey guys.
But he doesn't just act normal, he goes above and beyond. So he helps put up missing persons posters. He talks to Savannah's parents, playing the role of the concerned coworker.
Oh my God, gross.
He even joins in conversations at work about how worried everyone is about Savannah. Now, this kind of behavior, I'm into the psychological aspect. This kind of behavior, like inserting yourself into the investigation,
Always.
Is actually super common with guilty people. Criminologists and behavioral experts have identified 3 main reasons why suspects do this. So I want to in this case, I'm really going deep into the psychological because it's actually a textbook case.
Can I guess the 3 and then you tell me I'm right?
I'm down.
Okay. So I think 1 is so that they have all the information, they know where the police are headed.
Literally 1.
Yep. If they don't look invested or helpful, then they're like, will that be more suspicious?
Literally number 2.
Okay,
Have you been in my fucking notes?
Right? No.
You bitch.
What's 3? What would be 3? Well, they want to relive the crime.
Literally.
Shut up.
As if you just got all of those.
Girl, I've been reading serial killer, but I am...
You're like, we are deep into this by this point. So
Quantico, if you're looking for someone to hire,
it's Ashley. I volunteer as tribute. So you basically got it all in the head. First, number 1, they want to keep track of what the police know.
Yep.
Number 2, they're trying to appear helpful to avoid suspicion. The thinking is like, why would someone who's guilty be helping out this much?
Absolutely. You fucking idiots.
Yeah. And third, some perps get thrills from doing this because it's like, I'm here pretending like I don't know.
You don't know.
And I know.
It's weird.
It's so fucked up.
I know.
Listen, they're all fucked up.
Yeah, they are.
But Lee's act starts to crumble pretty quickly. When police first questioned the Bonefish employees, he claims he hasn't seen Savannah at all that day. Remember, at this point, this idiot doesn't know about the surveillance footage.
You've been an employee for what, 5 years, and you don't fucking know?
No, didn't know. Didn't know that.
It's also 2017.
Didn't know where he was being recorded.
I hate him.
Oh, get ready. Speaking of Lee's behavior at work, let me give you a clearer picture of how he operated. As a culinary manager, he had control over everything. So server sections, scheduling, shift assignments, even things like when servers could take their breaks. And according to Savannah's co-workers, he used every bit of that power to manipulate her. If Savannah didn't respond to his text quickly enough, suddenly she'd be assigned to the worst sections at the restaurant. If she talked to male customers too much,
shit.
He'd cut her shift short. I can't do those sentences. One coworker even reported seeing him deliberately hold back her orders in the kitchen when he was angry with her, so her tips were shit.
Oh, you're a psycho.
Isn't that fucking awful? When I read that, I was like, oh, I hate you.
Yeah.
I genuinely despise you.
That's very disturbing.
Isn't it? So here's the really fucked up part. He was actually super smart about it. He never did anything so obvious that she could report it. It was all these little things that individually he could explain away.
And he'd be like, you're delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like someone would be like, oh my God, why did you change her section? And he'd be like, it's just rotation, guys. Totally normal. Why did you, Savannah would be like, why are you cutting my shift short? Like, and he'd be like, slow night. And she'd be like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I can be here. No, orders delayed, kitchen backed up. Like, he had an excuse that could have been written off as like legitimate.
Yeah.
But this was his pattern of control, right? And he knew that. And he was smart enough to be like, I know exactly what to do to ruin her life or make her life better. It was awful. So in the weeks before her murder, Savannah had started confiding in a few close friends at work. She told them she was trying to find a way to distance herself from Lee without losing her job. She was really worried about that. She'd even started documenting some of his behavior in text messages to her friends. So she would like take screenshots or like forward them.
Good for
so that
her.
her friends
Smart
could be
girl.
like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So this was another reason why those fake running away texts were so suspicious to the people who knew her, because she wasn't planning on running away. She was planning on escaping Lee.
And trying to save her job.
Yeah, right? And she was just like, I can't imagine being like 21 and having all this stress. Like, not only just the stress of like her mom is sick. She's trying to figure out her life. She's trying to figure out her path. But on top of all of that, you have this dickhead boss. Yeah, awful. So the manipulation went beyond just work too. Lee had this way of isolating Savannah. He'd spread rumors about her to other coworkers, suggesting she was unstable or using drugs.
What the fuck?
And this is actually the same narrative he later tried to push to the police.
No.
Yes. This way, if she ever did try to speak up about his behavior, she'd already lost her credibility with these people.
Well, if a crazy person says, I'm not crazy, they sound crazy.
I know. And so, like, he, as much as, like, listen, he's a fucking asshole. He really like thought this through, really planned this out in such a way that he knew that even if, because he would just drop little things like, oh, Savannah's not here today. Oh, I know she had a rough weekend. Like she's really struggling with substance.
Just like planting seeds.
Yeah, like little things so that when Savannah would come in and be like, oh my God, like Lee won't stop texting me. They'd be like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Oh, I hate that.
Right? So another thing. So after investigators dug deeper into their relationship, they found something really disturbing. Lee had created fake social media accounts to monitor Savannah's online activity. Listen to this. He would use these accounts to keep tabs on who she was talking to, where she was going, even what she was liking or commenting on.
What?
Then he'd casually bring up things in conversation that he couldn't have known unless he was stalking her social media.
And okay, this is why, like, I think social media is great for a lot of things, like promoting a business or, you know, keeping in contact with family. That's a way. But it's this type of fucking shit that makes me so, like, I don't have personal Instagram.
Sorry, I'm like,
okay.
My wine glass is dinging all over the place, guys.
Like, I don't have personal Instagram, but I do have a business Instagram. I do have Facebook, but because a lot of the family members that I have are of the older generation, so they still just use Facebook, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't have Snapchat, and I don't have, like, fucking stories. Like, no one cares what I'm doing. But, like, this is where it's, like, I want young people to be, like, cautious. Don't put your shit out there.
Absolutely.
She probably didn't know he was stalking her as much as he was.
Of course she didn't.
Poor babe.
I know. So one thing that really stands out to me is how he managed to maintain this image of normalcy. Like, by all accounts, to look at him, he was successful. He had started as a server at Bonefish, worked his way up the management ladder.
And, like, was there a history of him dating other people that worked there, I wonder? Hard to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure. here's where, so I had like talked about this a little bit earlier, and this is where this episode gets really interesting to me, because this interrogation is like textbook example of how guilty people behave when they're being questioned.
Oh, I love these.
Like he hit on every single one.
I love
like an idiot.
I love snapped behind bars and they show the and you're just like, wow.
I know. So I want to try to break down all the tells that he gave away.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would be into this. When the detective first approaches Lee at Bonefish to talk to him, Lee does something really telling. He immediately brings up, completely unprompted, that he has a warrant out for his arrest over a traffic ticket. So police, like, I need you to picture this. So you're a detective and you saunter up and you're like, hi, are you Lee Rodarte? And this motherfucker turns around and is like, yes, and I have a warrant out for my arrest over a traffic ticket. Thank you.
So you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to look honest. He's trying to be like, okay, I did it.
Honest.
Yeah.
And like, when you run me, you're going to see. So I just want to be upfront about this.
Do they actually arrest people for traffic tickets in the States?
Well, they do here too, my love.
What?
Oh my God. Sometimes you say things that just blow my mind.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you got to pay your... So in Ontario, the way it works is like, let's say, well, definitely for traffic tickets. Like if you get caught speeding, you get a ticket.
Yeah, it comes in the mail. You pay it online.
You have, but if you don't pay it, you're in trouble.
I've never fucked around like that.
I know you haven't.
Like, oh
That's
God.
why you're like, oh my God, I would never.
Now I really will never.
No, you cannot.
Guys, I would never make it in prison.
No, you cannot.
Do they send you to prison?
Well, yeah.
Maybe jail.
I mean, you're in trouble. If you're not paying your violations, yeah, you're in trouble.
Okay. Good
She's
to know.
like, well, I'm
Everyone
never doing
pay your
that
tickets.
So this is what investigators call bargaining behavior. When suspects try to direct attention to minor infractions to distract from major crimes. Then when they bring him in for formal questioning, Lee does this thing, and this one, and like I've watched this entire interview from start to finish, and when he does this, I was immediately like, guilty motherfucker.
Really? What did he do?
So the detective asks him, how long have you known Savannah?
Okay.
Now, if I ask you, Ashley, how long have you known Santa Claus?
My whole life.
Okay. Period.
Yeah.
Not Lee. Instead of just saying like 8 months or whatever, this guy launches into this massive explanation about when they met, how they started seeing each other, what he liked about her, what their work relationship was like. Literally their whole history.
Yep.
And the detective had just asked, so how long have you known Savannah? And he went deep.
Okay, so I do this when I'm nervous.
I know you do.
I do. As soon as like, if I'm nervous about something and someone asks me a basic question, suddenly I'm like, and I was born on a Wednesday.
Actually,
like,
I love you, but you're so bad for this.
I'm so bad for this.
Guys, we'll be out in public and like the cashier will be like, would you like a bag? And Ashley would be like, you know, I should have brought my own bag because I know that you guys don't do bags
every
anymore.
time.
And I know that
because
when I watch the TV, like
the pressure.
She just goes and I'm watching
when
her.
When I have to go to the self-checkout, Chantal literally has to talk me through it because I'm stressed. I feel like all the people are watching me. I'm not begging properly. Everyone is like, hurry the fuck up. Now I'm nervous. Did I forget to scan something? Am I going to be in trouble? Did I scan something twice? Now I'm looking like, now I'm just like, take my money. Let me get out of here. Like, I'm just a fucking mess. Oh yeah, that would be me.
I know it would be.
And I would be innocent. But the police officer would be like,
they'd be like, what are you nervous about, ma'am?
Well, a lot of things. Leaving the house, the kids getting kidnapped.
You're like, shall I go on? So this is what investigators call over-explaining, which you do a lot of.
Guys.
It's one of the biggest tells that someone is lying or nervous.
Fucking nervous. I'm a nervous wreck.
I know. See? Like, innocent people typically give simple, direct answers. So, like, if he was innocent, they would have been like, hey, how long have you known Savannah? He would have been like, about 8 months.
Yeah.
No. Guilty people tend to provide excessive detail because they think it makes them sound more credible, but it actually does the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you bring your bag? Well, because I feel like I'm being accused. I'm like, no, like I meant
Guys,
to. I'm sorry.
She goes hard. Like, we
really
have,
sorry.
especially with like waitresses and waiters. That's
Yes.
we'll
the
go
worst.
out. We'll go out somewhere, and they'll be like, so do you want feta on your salad? And Ashley will go into like,
Don't ask me questions because
what
I'm
she
nervous.
did 8 years ago with a feta.
I know. You know what? I don't really like feta. Feta really fucks with me. Like, I can't. Like, why?
I love it. It's what makes you special. So here's where it gets really fucking good. The detective handling this case, absolute masterclass in interrogation technique. He uses what's called the building block method. Instead of confronting Lee with all the evidence at once, which they absolutely could have because it was stacked against him, he slowly reveals pieces of information, letting Lee commit to a lie before showing why that lie can't be true.
Oh, I like him.
I know. So let me walk you through Lee's story changes every time the detective presents new evidence. It's like, honestly, it's like watching someone just like dig a hole deeper under their feet.
These are funny.
Yeah. So, version number 1. Lee claims he hasn't seen Savannah at all that day.
Oh.
Version number 2. When the detective mentions witnesses saw them talking, suddenly Lee remembers, oh yeah, we had a brief conversation in the parking lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Version number 3. When confronted with evidence that Savannah got in his car, Lee comes up with this elaborate story about her getting out and leaving with someone in a green pickup truck.
There was no green pickup truck. So does he not know there's a surveillance?
He has no idea yet.
He thinks that this is just hearsay.
Yeah, so he's like, actually, yeah, that did happen. She got out of my car and she got into a green pickup truck.
Probably the guy she fell in love with.
Behind door number 4.
Mm.
When the detective reveals they have video of the whole thing, Lee changes his story again.
What does he say?
Saying they had an argument, but she was fine when she left. But, like, she didn't leave.
Right.
So it's not just what Lee says, it's how he says it. Throughout the interrogation, his body language is screaming guilt.
Oh my God, he must have been just sweating.
Oh my God, can you imagine? The detective,
the jig is up.
Yeah. So the detective noted like several key things about his body language. Every time they talk about Savannah, Lee keeps touching his neck and face, which is a classic self-soothing behavior that people do when they're uncomfortable or lying.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So if you're talking to someone or you're confronting someone about something and they start like playing with their ear, touching their neck, touching their face, it's usually like they're either super uncomfortable or they're not telling you the truth.
Weird.
I know. His posture completely changes when confronted with evidence. He goes from this kind of relaxed, confident position to literally shrinking in his chair. So it's so interesting to watch it. And actually last night, in preparation for this, I watched it on like 4x speed because I wanted to see the difference quickly.
Oh.
And it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, because when he first goes in there, he's cocky as fuck. Because he's like...
He's trying to turn into a turtle.
She got in the fucking green truck, man.
Idiot.
And then all of a sudden they're like, so what, can we just ask you a couple questions? But the most fascinating thing to me is how he shows signs of relief when telling lies, but visible anxiety when the detective challenges those lies.
So like he's like, okay, this one's it. This one's going to be the one.
Because he's like telling it and he's like, yeah, that's the story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Guys, that's it. It's like watching someone build a house of cards and then seeing their panic when each card gets pulled out. Like he was just like, fuck. Like you can see it on his face. Something else that he does, he tries to paint Savannah in a negative light, which we talked about earlier. So he starts telling the detective about how she was using drugs, how she was unstable. And this is just like classic deflection. He's trying to minimize his own guilt by pointing out what she was doing wrong.
Of course. And then also, like, And yeah, like in some of the other cases too, they want to look almost victimized. I
Yeah,
had to
right?
deal with her,
Like,
and she was
look at,
so, yeah.
I was constantly dealing with her BS.
Mm-hmm.
I was constantly putting up with her unstable everything, you know? Like, kind of, yeah, making himself the victim. Like, you don't know what it was like.
Whoa. Woe is me.
Whoa.
Like, fuck off.
Okay, so remember the text sent from Savannah's phone?
Yep.
The detective actually brings these up during the interrogation. And Lee's reaction is really telling. He gets this like deer in headlights look, like starts fidgeting.
Mm.
Because I wonder if they were like, well, sir, like they didn't sound like her. And then he's thinking like, oh, fuck, I should have made them sound like her.
I
Like,
need to
sir,
delete that and resend
yeah,
it.
can I do that again?
Can I have that phone?
Can I get a second
Now,
shot?
do they have her phone?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. So the breaking point comes when the detective starts laying out all the evidence. So now this detective has played the game. He's built the blocks. We've done the fucking activity. And so not just the surveillance footage showing the struggle in the car and Lee slashing Savannah's tire, but something even more damning. Lee's phone records. See, investigators had discovered deleted searches on Lee's phone about making people, quote unquote, disappear.
Shut up.
This wasn't just some heat of the moment thing. This guy had actually researched how to get away with what he was planning to do. So this wasn't like, even up until that point when they had, you know, his phone records, up until that point, they were like, all right, they got into an argument. It was a heat of the moment thing. He fucked up. But this was proof that he didn't. This was proof he was thinking about this. Mm-hmm.
And like, are they trying to like locate her phone off the towers?
They're looking everywhere for her.
Okay.
They can't find her. So now Lee's defense team would later try to use gaps in the surveillance coverage to their advantage. Because I guess it wasn't like consistent surveillance.
Yeah, some surveillance, they're only triggered by movement.
Right.
So
Or it's like 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off,
okay.
right? So it's like,
yeah.
So while the parking lot cameras caught the initial confrontation, there wasn't any footage of where Savannah's body was actually left, right? Because he drove off.
Yeah.
So his defense was like, oh, we can use that to our advantage because it's a lack of direct evidence to argue against premeditation.
So essentially, it's almost circumstantial evidence that she left with him, but his lies.
I know. So that's what they were hoping for. But come on, like between the deleted searches, the slashed tires, and those fake texts, come on, like the premeditation was pretty clear.
Yeah.
You can actually pinpoint the exact moment in the video where Lee realizes he's fucked.
Really? Like you saw it?
Yeah, you see it. His whole demeanor changes. He goes from this like cocky asshole trying to control the narrative to it literally looks like someone just like deflated him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking asshole.
The detective later said it was one of the most dramatic shifts in body language he'd ever seen in an interrogation. Like, it's actually wild. 3 days after Savannah vanished, Lee finally breaks. But even his confession shows these weird attempts to minimize what he did.
They always do this.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So he admits to killing Savannah in his car, but he tries to frame it as this accident that happened during an argument.
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting about his confession. He tells detectives he'll lead them to Savannah's body, but then he still pleads not guilty in court.
What?
So he literally takes the police to where he disposed of her body in a pond near some woods off Duclay Club Road, but then tries to claim innocence.
What? This is not the Shaggy song. It wasn't me. Like, you're busted.
I'm dead.
Like, come on.
You busted, boy.
You busted.
So when the dive team found Savannah's remains, the details were absolutely horrifying. The medical examiner's report described injuries covering about 75% of her body.
Oh my God.
I know.
So this wasn't just like a heated argument, whoopsie.
No.
He planned on doing this.
And beat the shit out of her.
Oh, poor baby.
So they couldn't determine an exact cause of death due to the condition of the remains.
Well, also in a swamp, like you've got warmer water. It's Florida.
I know. It was only 3 days, but still.
Oh, it would be.
Still.
Yeah.
So even though that was all tough and they couldn't determine cause of death, they did find something really significant. They found injury to the cartilage in Savannah's neck, suggesting she was probably strangled. Yeah. Oh my God. So Lee's defense team actually tried to use Florida's stand your ground law.
I'm sorry, what is this?
So they filed this motion trying to claim he acted in self-defense during an altercation with Savannah. So in Florida, it's called stand your ground. And basically, like, if you're protecting yourself and you kill someone, you're good.
What?
Yeah, it's like stand your ground.
Okay, so like I understand fight so that you're not, but in no world is a car door being opened multiple times and it's obvious that he's been stalking, harassing, hurting her, and all of a sudden he's the victim.
And stand your ground was never meant for this kind of bullshit.
Stand your ground
is for like, so in Canada, and I don't know if our US listeners would know this. If I'm at home and someone breaks into my house and they come at me and I beat them over the head with a baseball bat, they can actually turn around and sue me.
There was a case, sorry, I just swallowed weird. I'm drinking sangria because it's the holidays. Okay, so there was a case not long ago. It was in Canada. And this guy was breaking into this person's house and he was climbing through the window. And I believe he had a gun or he had like a weapon. And the man shot him. But apparently, like, he was like, I will shoot you. You do not come in here. Like, my wife and kids are in here. I will shoot you.
Yeah.
He shot him, and he ended up getting charged for murder.
Yes.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
That's not like that
it's
in
insane.
the States.
No. So stand your ground prevents that. Stand your ground is like, hey, I was protecting myself. I was protecting my family. I was protecting my home. I was protecting my property.
Yeah.
And then you get off.
And
if you happen to kill someone or hurt someone, they can't turn around and sue you.
Let me tell you, if my babies are here and you come in my house.
Oh, I am going full Rambo on you. Like full, like actual Rambo, not my fucking dog.
No. True. Okay, so he's trying to say I was defending myself.
But the court shut that down real fast.
Yeah, fuck.
They were like, fuck you. The state had clear and convincing evidence that this wasn't self-defense. Think about it.
No.
He slashed her tire, sent fake texts from her phone, and helped look for her. Like, this wasn't self-defense. Self-defense, like, you hurt someone in self-defense, you immediately call and say, like, hey, we had a fight. It's bad. You need to get here. The really chilling part about all of this is how calculated everything was. After killing Savannah, Lee didn't just panic and try to cover it up. He methodically planned everything. He chose a secluded pond to dispose of her body. He created this whole fake narrative with the text messages. He even made sure she couldn't, quote unquote, escape by slashing her tire before driving away with her.
This is crazy.
And I wondered this throughout the entire thing. I was like, was she even dead when he drove away? Because if you're getting in and you're slashing her tires because he didn't want her to run away. She had to have
been out, like, unconscious or something because she would have booked it.
I know.
Unless he, like, tied her up.
But that was also part of his story, right? Because then her parents are coming, they're seeing the slashed tire, and they're like, oh, she wanted to get away, but she couldn't. Yeah. So where did she go? Right? So back to the text. Let's talk about how sophisticated this cover-up attempt was. Lee deliberately made spelling errors in those messages to make them look rushed and emotional. So, and this just goes to show how much he didn't know her, because her family immediately was like, nope, even in the most stressed out situation, she would never write like that.
No.
She would never make those errors.
What a fucking
So idiot. He like fucked that up hard. He overdid it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how her family knew that something was wrong. During the investigation, detectives started interviewing Savannah's friends outside of work, and what they learned painted this like heartbreaking picture of how isolated she'd become. One of her closest friends from high school told police that she'd noticed Savannah pulling away over the previous months. At first, she thought maybe it was just because Savannah was busy, or that her mom was still sick and going through cancer treatments.
Cycle of abuse, man.
I know. And then she started noticing these weird patterns. Savannah would make plans, but cancel at the last minute with these vague excuses about needing to pick up extra shifts.
Because he was you're not going.
So it was always like work around work. Later, they found out that Lee had been deliberately changing Savannah's schedule after she'd make plans with friends. He'd wait until the last minute to update the schedule and then act like it was just normal business operations. So get this. Another friend said she tried to set Savannah up on a date with her cousin. The next day, Savannah was suddenly assigned to work 6 closing shifts in a row. Because remember, he's monitoring everything. He's watching her socials.
Fucking loser.
Yeah. So no one would ever work 6 closing shifts unless you requested it. So when the friend confronted Lee about it, he just said, it's random rotation. Like, life sucks. Get a helmet, basically.
I hate this guy.
Yeah. So here's where it gets even more sinister. During the investigation, detectives found that Lee had created this whole network of fake social media accounts. Not just to stalk Savannah, but to actually interfere with her relationships. He would use these fake accounts to send messages to guys she was talking to, making it seem like she was already in a relationship
Oh my God.
or completely unstable. So she would start chatting up a guy, which of course you did at 21 years old. And all of a sudden, she, and I imagine he would hear her talking at work and being like, yeah, we talked for a week, and then he just disappeared. And it's because one of these fake accounts, hey, I'm Julie, and I'm Savannah's friend, and I kind of saw that she was talking to you, and I just want to let you know.
She has a boyfriend.
Or what you're getting yourself into.
She's a little crazy.
She's a little much. If I were you, I would run.
Motherfucker.
Isn't that fucking awful? And this poor girl is trying to be an angel saint, helping her mom through cancer, just wanting to I don't know, meet a nice guy.
Her life.
Yeah. At every turn.
And does she know he's doing this, I wonder?
Does who know?
Does Savannah know that he's,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, okay, so I have a friend that experienced something kind of similar to this, where it came to light that her partner was listening in on her conversations, reading her text messages and whatever. And it was awful. But what actually set it off for her was all of a sudden, so she would have a conversation with me, for example, okay, on the phone or through text. And he would come home from work and he would say something.
And she's like, what the fuck?
And she'd be in her head, oh my God, I just spoke to Chantal about this. And then so when it all came out that she found out that he was doing this, it was oh my God, he did know.
Yeah.
That we were talking about pumpkin pie because he was fucking listening.
It's fucking weird.
Then they come home and they're like, oh, I picked up a pumpkin. I had a hankering for a pumpkin pie. And you're like, what the fuck? So they also found evidence that he'd been using these accounts to gather information about Savannah's family too. He knew about her mom's cancer treatments, her dad's work schedule, her brother's college classes. He was basically building this fucked up database.
This is crazy.
Of their routines, their life, what they did, what they liked, what their hobbies were. Like a fucking psycho.
But actual psycho shit. This is shit that serial killers do.
Exactly. When investigators interviewed Savannah's mom, Sherry, she revealed something that haunts her to this day. About a week before the murder, Savannah had started asking her these weird hypothetical questions like, Mom, if someone at work was making you uncomfortable but you couldn't prove it, what would you do?
Oh, so she didn't want to stress her mom out, but was trying to get motherly advice.
Yeah, so Sherry thought they were just general questions about workplace dynamics. She had no idea that her daughter was essentially asking for help but didn't know how.
Yeah, well, you don't want to put that on your mom when she's unwell, right?
Well, no, and that's just it. Mom was sick.
Yeah.
The police also found text messages on Savannah's phone to her brother Chris where she expressed feeling like she was going crazy because things would happen at work, like her tables being reassigned or her schedule being changed, but when she'd question it, Lee would tell her she was remembering things wrong. Which, my friends, is classic gaslighting.
That's gaslighting. This is wild, eh?
Oh, it's awful. It's honestly awful.
Yeah, it is awful.
So, one of the most heartbreaking discoveries came from Savannah's journal, which police found in her bedroom. In her final entry, just 3 days before her murder, she wrote about feeling trapped. She knew Lee's behavior wasn't right, but she was worried that if she reported him, no one would believe her because he had such this shiny reputation at work of being like Lee, the Bonefish hero.
Fucking Lee, the Bonefish. Bonehead.
I know. She wrote, "Sometimes I feel like I'm living in two different worlds. The real one where I know what's happening, and the one he creates where I'm supposed to doubt everything I know."
Oh,
Which,
he's like really fucking her up.
oh my God. And that just broke my heart when I read that because how awful. And I can't I can't even really talk about it because I'll get really emotional. But I was thinking like in those final moments, I bet you she was like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
That's sad.
Yeah. So the investigators said this case was a perfect example of how domestic abuse doesn't always look like what people expect.
Yeah.
It's not always bruises and, glasses and
it's psychological warfare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and I
it's
feel like
literally
that's probably, I'm not saying like, the psychological part is like, I'm not comparing apples to oranges here, but like the psychological aspect can be almost harder.
Yeah, right? Well, because it's unseen.
That's what I mean.
If I walk in somewhere and a young woman has bruises all over her arms, I'm immediately like, hey, sweetie, what is going on?
Yeah.
But if she's got a smile on her face and a twinkle in her eye because she's covering it,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on with her.
That's right.
It's awful. So Sherry, her mom, told the court she was my rock. When I was too sick to get out of bed, she'd lay next to me and tell me stories about her day just to keep my mind off the pain. And then this monster took her from me right when I needed her the most.
That's heartbreaking.
I know.
And this poor mom, like, no parent should ever bury their child, but like you're ending your life, and those moments with that child were so special and to be cherished. Yeah. And this fucker ripped those moments away.
Yeah. So, like, poor Sherry, like, she sat through this trial, literally battling stage 4 cancer. Had to, like, look at Lee every day.
Ugh.
She said she didn't believe in the death penalty, but she wanted him to suffer eternally. And that even that wouldn't be enough. Because how do you quantify justice when someone takes your kid?
No, you don't. Like, that's, you can't.
Yeah.
And you're at your end. Like, the end of everyone's life should be peaceful. It should be a time of reflection and joy.
It just really broke my heart thinking, like, especially she was writing it in her journal.
Yeah.
And in that last moment where we just talked about this not that long ago, when you know you're going to die.
Yeah.
At the hands of this person.
Fucker.
And I just imagine she was like, oh, I should have said something. Like she probably was like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. So sad. So Savannah's dad, Dan, gave this absolutely gutting statement. He said, Savannah could have changed countless lives. Savannah's murderer has muted my beautiful daughter's voice. In February 2021, Lee finally entered a guilty plea to second-degree murder. As part of the plea deal, they dropped the charges of tampering with evidence and abuse of a dead body. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison the following month. The Jacksonville community really rallied around the Gold family during all of this. They had held vigils, shared Savannah's story, and contributed to a GoFundMe that the family set up. The money went to cover funeral expenses, but also to support causes that Savannah cared about, which I thought was so sweet. So they ended up donating quite a bit of money to animal charities and organizations supporting victims of domestic violence.
Poor girl.
I know. You know what really gets me about this? The signs were there, but maybe not obvious enough at the time. Like we were just saying.
Well, and domestic abuse doesn't always have to be a husband. Doesn't mean you live together.
Not. This was her boss. And yeah, they had fooled around. They had dated on and off. They fucked probably multiple times.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her boyfriend per se. It was a guy that, they connected at one point and then he got obsessive.
Fucker.
After the murder, Bonefish Grill had to take a hard look at their workplace policies.
Yeah, I think so. But they had the policies in place.
Okay, but yes, they had rules against manager-employee relationships, but clearly they needed better enforcement and maybe better training on recognizing warning signs, right? Like, because it's fine for me as an HR professional to say, okay, you can't date your boss, but do those people have the skills and the training to be able to be like, it kind of looks like you guys are having a relationship, like to dig a little bit deeper? I don't know. Anyway, this case shows how quickly things can escalate. Savannah walked into that parking lot probably thinking she was going to have a quick convo and get to work. She was in her work uniform, ready to go. She had no way of knowing that Lee had already decided she wasn't walking away. In the end, this case isn't just about a workplace relationship gone wrong or a murder investigation. It's about how quickly someone's life can change.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that. I'm kind of, how I've made you speechless? You kind of made me a little speechless because I was just really bummed about that.
I know. It was really rough. And it's just one of those, listen, all murder is senseless. Mm-hmm. But it was just one of those ones where it's like, and she's so, I'm going to share photos like I always do. She's just so beautiful and so full of life. And it's just, this guy was just on an ego trip. Really, that's what it comes down to. You're on an ego trip. You want to get your rocks off by controlling some poor person's life. And it's really fucked up. So, in our other episode, the I think it was the Junko one. Was it the Junko?
That was a bonus episode.
That was a bonus episode.
So you're talking about Kelly Bates?
Yes. We had put the numbers for the domestic violence hotlines.
Yeah.
I've put them for Canada, the US, and the UK. I'm going to put them again for this episode.
Okay. And
again.
If you can't or you don't have... we didn't, cover your area, give us a message and we will figure it out for you. We're happy to help always.
Yeah, we'll find you the help. We'll find you the resources and get you out of that situation safely. So as always, we love you.
We love you. Thank you for tuning in, friends.
And we hope that you have a happy new year because this is going to come out on Friday.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you aren't already a subscriber, on December 29th, we are having our first live.
Yeah.
Where we're going to be in jammies and we're going to get into bed and we're going to drink our faces off and we're going to tell scary stories and murder stories and we want you there. So.
And if you can't, do that, even if you just give us a review, like us.
Yeah. We love those follows.
We love it.
All right. Love you guys.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us on Triggered, where we dive deep into the dark, the twisted, and the cosmic mysteries of the universe.
Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, always watch the stars and your back.